This past week, us Formula One fans are sent into shock after Christian Horner and Red Bull Racing decided to publicly part ways effective immediately ahead of the 2025 Belgian Grand Prix. And this right here is very crazy. Christian Horner joined the team back in 2005 with a very small infrastructure in Milton Keynes and really not much to play with the car standpoint because they really didn't have much funding. You fast forward 20 years to 2025, the team is one of the biggest in Formula One and they're winning championships left and right. Christian Horner's time at Red Bull has been nothing short of great. Everything he's done has been awesome, and he's really going to be considered as the GOAT at the team principal row. But the thing that's always going to overlook this all is his time at the end, especially the 2024 season, because the fall off was significant. So you head into 2024, and there's a lot of rumors swirling around about Adrian Newey's situation with the team, and no one really knew what was going to go on. Is he going to stay, or is he going to leave elsewhere? Then we had all these things go on with an ex-Red Bull employee trying to sue Christian Horner, and he has a whole scandal. And that scandal, I kid you not, had a big fallout because we saw Adrian Newey go to Aston Martin. Jonathan Wheatley, who was actually, I would say, the second man in line if Christian Horner ever got the boot to become the team principal, he went to the Sauber Kick F1 team. So he lost them two off the bat. And Christian Horner was just losing more and more support in the Red Bull inner circle. And all he had to his name was a thigh backing of 51%. That 51%, the 2% over the 49, is what saved his butt. Because if it wasn't for that, he would have been booted. But as the year goes on, he's deemed innocent. And we're seeing a weekly appearance of him and Jos Verstappen getting into an altercation in the paddock. Just things were looking good. And by the summer, we're already hearing news of Max Verstappen potentially looking elsewhere for 2025. Obviously, that did not fall through. But while that was happening, on-track performances have kind of decreased, and McLaren was starting to become the team to beat. And by the end of the year, Red Bull was in a very bad situation in the constructors, and they ultimately decided to part ways with Sergio Perez. And you fast forward to 2025, and Christian Horner decided to bring in Liam Lawson, while Helmut Marko decided to bring in Nico Hülkenberg. Lawson didn't do a good job. They bring in Tsunoda. He didn't do a good job. Horner's respect in the Red Bull inner circle right now is very low, and Red Bull had to make a change. They brought in Laurent Mackies, and now Christian Horner finds himself on the sideline twiddling his thumbs. And I don't think this is going to be a long-term thing. I think he's going to be back in the paddock, according to a lot of people, that he's going to be in the paddock for the Dutch Grand Prix in Alpine kit. That slanted A, is going to be on his polo, potentially his hat. I think that this right here is going to be a very big deal because Alpine is in a situation right now where it's either all or nothing. And what I mean is they're going to go next year and see how things go. If the waters are good, they're going to keep on flowing with it in 2027. But if next year is a rough year, that team is going to sell out. And honestly, I wouldn't expect a big change. I would expect if they were to sell out that Christian Horner, Otmar Safnauer, and Flavio Briatore's got some deep pockets to buy that team. I really wouldn't expect a big change at all. Only thing I would expect though is Flavio to get the whole deal. Like right now, he's running the show, but if he owns this team, he's running his own show and he can do whatever he wants. He don't have to worry about corporate keeping drivers in place, which in my opinion is doing a good job right now because of the situation we got going on with the driver lineup. Pierre Gasly is going absolutely nowhere. He's doing great things with the team. But Franco Colapinto and Jack Doohan, that whole dilemma is very sour grapes. Jack Doohan came at the beginning of the year, 6 races, and he got the boot. Franco Colapinto, I am a Colapinto fan, but I'll admit he hasn't done much better, but he has done better than Doohan, slightly but surely. And I think that right now they need to keep one in there, and it's obviously going to be Colapinto because he does bring in some sponsorship backing. And Renault Alpine, all that stuff in Argentina is keeping this afloat. If it wasn't for that, who knows what'd be in this car right now? It could be Nikita Mazepin for all I know. But yeah, I think Christian Horner coming over to Alpine is going to provide some stability and someone that's not afraid to go into Flavio and tell him, hey, we need to do this better. Because Christian Horner has been successful in this past decade in Formula One. Flavio Briatore has been successful in the past further back in time. And they got 2 top generation team principals going together in the same team, I'm telling you folks, Alpine is going to be the team to beat. Just give them time and be patient. If Christian Horner and all this stuff falls through, I think that this year is going to be abandoned and next year is going to be worked on immediately. So time will tell here, but I wouldn't expect a big change in next year's lineup. I think that if all this stays through and Horner comes to Alpine, I would not expect Sergio Perez to come here. I think that Perez will find it unattractive and he will sign with Cadillac. So I think that's why Sergio Perez's name has gone quiet as of late. But what do you think? Comment down below.